Hello and welcome to Creative Sparkle. My name's Holly and today we're going to be making a card to say happy 100th birthday to Captain Tom Moore. So grab your art supplies and let's get crafting. Thank you for joining me today. So I wanted to make a card for Captain Tom Moore because he's done so much to raise money for us during this time. So to begin with, I'm measuring segments on the card. So across the top we have a 36 centimeters segmented into 6 pieces, so that's 6 times 6 across the top. And then down the side we've got 3 segments of 8 centimeters, which is 24 centimeters down the side. So what you can see currently is I'm just putting some dashes and some squiggles over some of the lines. The dashes show that I'm doing now where you want to score the card, and the squiggly lines is where we're going to cut the card, and then once we've folded them we'll have something like this. So where we folded them we can see that this is how the card looks when it's folded up and then when it expands. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to erase the lines that I had drawn on before, and then after we've erased them we can go ahead and start adding some colour. So I've chosen the Dusty Concord Distress ink and I'm just going to be using a blending tool to add the colour. I'm going to be more rough with the blending tool just because I want to add some different tones across the paper. As you can see, it's darker in some places and lighter in others, and that's the kind of feel I'm going for the background. Adding the colour, I just want to show you that I'm going to be doing the edges like so, just going across the edges so they've got a bit of a darker frame around them. So once the background colour's done, I want to move on to the next piece, which is to start adding the paper. I'm going to be cutting them to the individual sizes of the blocks. I'm going to be measuring them so they're 1/2 centimetre smaller on each side so that they have a frame to show the background. And then also I've gone with more of a manly paper, so I've chosen these two, World Travels and Vintage Sepia, and they're each 10 by 10 centimetres, so I'm going to cut those down to size and add them on. Once I've cut them down to size, I'm going to be using that blending tool with the same colour as before and edging the pieces just so that they all come more cohesive. So after cutting all the pieces of paper, I'm just finding the right places for each size of them. So I'm going to add them onto the page just to make sure they're all in the right place. And then we'll add to the colour like I said before, and then I'll get them stuck down. Absolutely fine either way. I just used glue because I wanted to be able to move it as I'm putting it down, just to make sure it's the central position that I'm putting it in, and then if it's not I can just tweak it a little bit because it's still wet behind. And then we'll move on to the next part, which is to get the photos ready. I wanted to collect all the photos that I could find just so that he's got some kind of memory trip in the card that I give him. So I've taken these pictures and I've cropped them to the right size, printed them off on photo paper, and now I'm just cropping the corners so that they've got nice curved edges. So the next part is that I've taken a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper and used it on the scan and cut to cut out this lovely shape. I wanted each of the photos to be framed, but nothing too outstanding or that stands out rather, so that you can still appreciate the design but also the photos are the main object of the card. So I'm going to be sticking the individual pieces of card onto the main card with the photo like so, and I'm using double-sided tape on these pieces that I've got in front of me, and once those are attached to the card with the rest of the photos, we'll start with the next part, which is going to be adding some embellishments. So as you can see, the photos are all stuck down, so these two pieces that are blank here don't include the photos, so I'm going to be adding some thickers, which is some large stickers like you can see, and on the left hand side I'm going to be adding the number 100, obviously, as it's his 100th birthday. What a milestone to be able to achieve. And then for the second box in the top right hand corner that's not been filled in just yet, I'm going to be adding the number 23. If you notice, there's a photo next to the blank box, which is Captain Tom Moore himself on a racing motorbike, because he used to race, and his number was 23, so I just wanted to make sure that stood out as well. So now that that's all finished, I have some photos of the finished product, and you can see how it folds up. I really want to congratulate Tom Moore on what he's done, managing to raise the money right before his 100th birthday. So happy birthday, Captain Tom Moore, and many happy returns, and congratulations on reaching such a massive milestone. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also share it with your friends. Come back again for more crafty videos. I'll see you next time, where we'll turn your creative spark into creative sparkle. Thanks again for joining me. Bye!